Hello folks, this is Paragon RG and you're watching another daily casted match of Age of Empires 4. Almost said 3 there for some reason. Here we go, because GiveUAnxiety is a very well-known Age of Empires 3 player. I am told maybe the best AoE 3 player of all time, and he's transitioned to Age of Empires 4. So he is in the red on the east side of the map, playing as the French. Hera is in the blue on the west side of the map, playing as the Rus. So Hera has been yo-yoing all over the ladder recently. I am curious to see how this one comes out. Last game I just did was also on Altai with a really interesting map spawn. There was a choke point in the middle, which was very strange for Altai. This one is also, this one's definitely odd. Hera has a really good defensive position here. I mean, he could just wall this. And then he can wall this tiny piece. Wow. And he's, effectively fully walled off. GUA could go all the way around the outside. But very good position there for Hera. And I'm wondering how useful that'll be for him as the Rus. He's almost certainly going for professional scouts, unless he will be experimenting in some way or other with trying to figure out if there's some better than meta build for the Rus. Let us take a look at the general spawns. Nice gold placement for Hera. Berries forward, but as I mentioned, this is very easily walled off, so I actually doubt this will be too big of a problem for him. Running around grabbing the bounty that he can. We'll see that go up. That's at 15 currently. Currently fighting away with this wolf. And GiveUAnxiety. What is he up to? So playing as the French. As the French, we generally expect a couple of possibilities. First, I'm going to note he actually has, GUA has, yes, 2 scouts out on the map right now. One is down here. So he's done that for a couple of reasons. One is so he can deny as much of the hunt as possible from Hera. This will mean that Hera just gets less of a bounty and potentially doesn't even hit that second tier bounty mark, which requires, there it is, which requires 250 bounty to accomplish, at which point your villagers get an extra boost on their harvest rate, and you get a speed up in your hunting cabin's gold generation as well. So he's trying to deny as much of that hunt as he possibly can. Now, let's take a look at Hera. Hera has 3 military, so he's been making scouts, I'm assuming, out of the hunting cabin. I didn't see where they were coming out of. And he has been known, in my experience, to produce an extra scout out of his town center as well. So if we check the villager count right now, it's 14 on 14, but I'm guessing both of them built a single scout out of their town center before Hera transitioned to building out of that hunting cabin. Now, this will be useful for GUA as well if he is going for the professional scouts route. This seems to be really common to me. The French, as I mentioned, have 2 options. Usually, in the current meta. So they put up the School of Cavalry pretty much all the time, unless maybe they're on a water map. They can either go straight for Knights and add really early pressure and really potent pressure, or they can add a few scouts, and he can add a mill somewhere in the next minute or so, research professional scouts, and given that he already has a couple, he'll be faster getting the numbers he needs to compete for the deer on the map, at which point he can bring them back and enjoy those at home. So we'll keep an eye on what he gets up to. Oh, interesting. Hera going with the Kremlin. I'll be honest, I haven't seen this H2 landmark in, 3 weeks or something like that. So this is basically a glorified wooden fortress. And so you see its influence. This will actually benefit once it's up. Any wood dropped off to this lumber camp will get, I think, 20% extra wood. So we'll see these 10s become 12s in just a minute here. Have to keep an eye on that. So this is a defensive landmark. I'm actually not at all sure why he's going with this. He is such a defensive spawn. Very curious what his plan is. And we should now see, there you go, 12 wood instead of 10. So really powerful in the sense that it is actually just an investment. And it will help out with his defense as well. That being said, generally Rus players go with the Golden Gate. That's what it is. The Golden Gate, which allows for trading at better rates and is a really solid economic building. Double archery range now coming out from Hera, which it seems too early for horse archers. So it looks like regular archer spam from Hera in this game. Really interesting. So definitely off-meta build so far, as far as I can tell, coming out from Hera. GUA may even just expect straight Castle Age from, Castle Age horse archers from Hera. That's pretty much always what we see in professional scouts. Did he even go? He didn't even go for professional scouts. This is so interesting to me. This looks just like a timing thing. You're trying to throw off your opponent, and he'll try to get a handful of archers out, and then he'll try to punish his opponent, who is currently bringing back the deer. So, professional scouts researched on the mill here. GUA will make a pretty good use of that, but not if he's stuck in his own base and archers are killing the scouts that are trying to head home. That being said, professional scouts are pretty hard to stop, more generally. So we'll see what success Hera has with this. Archers now starting to move forward. There are 5 of them. I don't see any upgrades on them just yet. Blacksmith has come down though, so his first ranged attack upgrade is halfway done. So definitely, this is a huge investment from Hera. We're 6.5 minutes into the game. Blacksmith with attack upgrades and archers pretty much at his opponent's base. Very, very fast from him. GUA is pushing for Castle Age. If you look at his resources, he is not ready for this at all. Already a villager goes down. Hera's scouts are here as well to cause problems and eat town center fire. Excellent play by him. Does lose a scout. I don't think he's going to be too worried about that. Now, GUA did get the gold he needed to get to the next age. So at this point, yes, Hera won't know that. He may try to keep his opponent off gold, but he will, I mean, if he can keep him off food, he can slow down GUA's Castle Age to the point where it just would be too slow. It just won't be effective anymore. Now, at any moment, GUA can sort of say, you know what, Castle Age isn't for me, and he can start making Royal Knights. It doesn't look like he wants to do that, though. He's so close now to clicking up to Castle Age, and I kind of worry for him. The pressure's already on, and I wonder, is Hera going to go for Siege Engineering next? We'll see if he does, because given how far forward he is with this pressure, I feel like it might make sense to, like, if you really want to pile on the pressure, you go for Siege Engineering. And look at this. Already slowing down his opponent, adding the guild hall. Hera is losing military here to the town center. Actually, he's stopped. I guess not even in range at this point, which seems odd to me. But another archer going down from Hera, but doing anything he can to slow down this guild hall. Okay. Oh, that's a horseman. Not even going for Royal Knights. So first horseman comes out from GUA. One horseman is nowhere near enough here. He needs to get back with this thing right away, because Hera will just say, thank you very much, and target this thing down. And yes, does do some damage to a single archer. Actually, almost kills that archer. But Hera now sniping his opponent's scouts. Okay, gets at least one of them. Oh, gets 2 of them, in fact. So GUA's professional scouts has been paying off, but it is winding down. I guess he has picked up most of the deer on the map. Hera's pretty secure with his deer here. There's maybe a couple more deer here. There's 1, 2. But he may not even get out in that direction. Oh, I see. There's deer actually still back here. And with 4 scouts, maybe having to invest in more, this is going to be more of a pain for him. So he does hit the the Castle Age with the guild hall, sets it to gold. So we'll see this slowly generating gold, 20 every 20 seconds to begin with, but then 40 and then 60 and so on. Adding a villager, adding an archery range, and he's still adding horsemen. Very interesting. Okay, so what is Hera's plan here? He's already got a bunch of damage in. I would assume he works toward the Castle Age. He did not get Siege Engineering as I thought he might. I still see archers and spearmen headed forward. Okay, and his troops are still behind enemy lines, causing as many problems as they can. We'll see if they get more shots on his opponent's scouts, carrying deer. Yeah, he's just going to try to keep sniping villagers. Let's take a look. Hera had 35 villagers. GUA also had 35. So any sniping of vills he's done has not amounted to a lead. That being said, GUA would be ahead by a few villagers if not for the disturbance from Hera, simply because the French build villagers 10% faster. So by the time you're at about 36 villagers, you would expect to be 3 villagers ahead if you're the French player. So Hera already keeping down that bonus, doing a good job on that front. 4 horsemen out now from GUA. Hera has enough spears here. I don't think he's going to... 6 horsemen now. I don't think he's going to let those horsemen cause too big of a problem for him. I think his unit control is good enough. GUA, for the time being, heading back, looks like trying to target down this scout of his opponent. Hera will start picking off horsemen. Ooh, I don't like this position for his archers at all, but it's not going to matter because the spears come right up and absolutely massacre these horsemen. I think this is a miscommitment from GUA. Hera eating him alive in that battle. And suddenly Hera, I think, is in a huge lead. The points don't show it. But in large part, that's because GUA is in Castle Age, not the Feudal Age. And he's still stuck building horsemen. I wonder if that's because he feels like he can't take gold safely. Let's head back to Hera's base and see if he's still in a full feudal commitment mode. Researching the ranged armor upgrade. Do we see anything else? We don't see much else from him at all. So we do see a stable out now producing actually early knights. So he is starting to transition to a bit of a different unit composition. Early knights should be pretty good against his opponent's horsemen and his opponent's archers. So yeah, this might be a pretty clever switch from Hera. Though I don't know that it's a switch so much as a what would be the word for it? Just sort of a splash, you call it in Magic, a splash of a new unit type. So his unit composition will be a little better than before. Single ram starting to take out the School of Cavalry. Obviously got siege engineering somewhere in there, even though I checked twice and he didn't have it. Checked at the wrong time. Battering ram taking out this School of Cavalry at about 2/3 health now. I like this a lot. This shows patience from Hera. Looping around, making sure his opponent isn't on gold, seeing if he can kill any of his opponent's villagers. GUA with a nice little wall here, just trying to keep any, make it a little more difficult for his opponent to jump on his villagers. Archer's running right through here. You know, he knows he has the numbers. 43 military against 14. Says, screw it. You can jump in your TC if you want. I'm just going to run right through and jump on your villagers. Look how many idols are here. 35 villagers not getting anything done for GUA. This puts Hera firmly in control of this game. Currently 44 villagers to 37 after those deaths, plus all of the idle time. You got to figure Hera is in a very, very good position here. Looks like this ram was driven off. Hera did, though, pull it back before it took too much damage. So no ram goes down there. School of Cavalry is still actually burning down, and GUA will be hesitant to bring any villagers to repair it because he knows there are so many archers lurking about. Hera's force now building a second ram at the back of GUA's base. So this is probably going to go right for this siege workshop. We'll take a look once they get moving. Here they go. Ram is moving. I don't think he can kill the workshop before the mangonel comes out. But very, very good pressure from Hera now. Spearmen running forward. Ram has come forward and taken out that School of Cavalry landmark. So this base is getting pretty squished for GUA. Now running toward the back, trying to deal with this battering ram. But he's going to run into a huge number of Hera's troops. And these are still only regular archers for GUA. So despite being in the Castle Age, he has not been able to take advantage of it with his upgrades. Now, he does have a mangonel, and if this mangonel can set up and shoot, it could potentially bring him back into the game. But Hera knows that, and he's running at a pretty good pace out of there. He doesn't want a single shot against him from that mangonel. Meanwhile, all the time is on his side. Things are looking up for him. He's ahead in villagers. He knows that. Whether or not he can see the number, it's he knows that. He's been killing villagers. Even for a French player, that will make a big difference. His ram will probably go down here, but he did take out yet another building of GUAs. Oh, I didn't see these villagers over here. Hera heads out this way. Villagers try to wall him in. He's going to keep moving, see if he can catch the villagers. Early Knight chasing them now. Oh, GUA is in such a bad spot here. Early Knight just absolutely massacring villagers as the chivalrous knights seem to love to do. Oh, the count here is getting so bad for GUA. It's 48 economy against 30. Just looking so bad. Horsemen aren't going to cut it against early knights, archers, and spearmen. Mangonel now firing as well. I think we can just kind of assume that the villagers are being killed on the other side. One Royal Knight does go down from GUA. Hera pushed back temporarily. Mangonel doing a good job on that front. But the question is, does GUA have any reasonable follow-up to this? And Hera, is it just me? Or, yeah, he's... You know what? In most of the games I've cast of him recently, he is fully committed to the feudal age. So maybe plans like this are why he's yo-yoing all around the ladder. Things like this can work. Or maybe they don't work for a while until you work on them and figure out, you know, when they're supposed to work and when they're not supposed to work. This Mangonel overextending could easily get jumped on. Yeah, going to get jumped on by knights. And there's really nothing here for GUA to kill these knights. So this Mangonel is not long for this world. He does actually have villagers repairing it. Oh. Yeah, villager repair. Very nasty play. Hera needs to get these archers forward into this battle. He does so now. Mangonel firing away. Will take out some of Hera's troops. But honestly, there's so many of GUA's villagers here. 21 idle now. His total count is at 21. That was all of his villagers. Folks, that's the game. Hera smashes GUA, committing to the feudal age on Altai. Really good play from him. Folks, this has been Paragon RG. If you enjoyed this match, please subscribe for a daily casted video in your feed. I'll catch you next time.